Right, everybody, welcome back to the Firahs podcast. This is the podcast where I talk my shit, have a little bit of fun, and we get into some good conversation. We've got a lot of topics to get through today, so we're going to get through all those topics while we are here. As usual, you know the vibes, man. I got my sip in my cup, so everybody get your little drinks ready. I don't know what you guys are going to be drinking, but I know what I'm drinking. So, yeah. For once, I'm not filming early in the morning, so that's great. So let's get into it. We're going to start with Donald Trump. Trump is being indicted. I believe he's the first president ever to have been indicted, or as Americans like to say, indicted. That's what I've read. I've heard it's the first time it's ever happened to a former president. Now, the situation is that he paid £130,000 to Stormy Daniels in hush money. She was the honorable side chick when he was married in 2006. I don't believe that was to Melania Trump. I think it's somebody else. Now, paying hush money isn't actually a crime. Now, the situation here is he basically paid the hush money because obviously when he was running for president, obviously he's like, yo, I don't want Stormy Daniels to come out with, oh, I slept with Donald Trump, or sell stories when obviously he's trying to become president. So he paid $130K, got the lawyer who is a fixer to essentially, pay her, and then obviously he paid the lawyer as well. Which is a crime in itself because the expense was used during his election campaign. Now, if you're doing an election campaign, you have to basically say everything that you spend your money on. So basically give out a bank statement to what you used during your presidential campaign or election campaign, whatever you call it, right? And obviously he didn't put it down that he spent $130K and then whatever he paid a lawyer for that situation. Therefore, it is a crime. So yeah, Donald Trump spending money, but this is not one of those stories that is a surprise. I think if you've ever watched like government shows, especially if we're talking about the States, like with the president and stuff that they hire, like, this shit is kind of real. In some cases, the scenarios are very much real. There are cases where people of power pay people to basically shut the fuck up, pay people or do things to cover things up, and it's normal. That's just what government people do. It's not something that should be a taboo to people. It really does happen. And I think we are in a situation where I think a lot of you guys should know that. I genuinely think a lot of you should know that. So the thing with Donald Trump is that I just think people, I know he wants to go again. He's looking to go again to try to get back in a presidential seat. Right now it's Joe Biden. A lot of people are now actually speaking out on how much they seem to accept and appreciate what Donald Trump did during his tenure. Because Joe Biden and the things he promised isn't really being promised. And I think having someone like Donald Trump who was kind of straightforward, honest about his feelings towards people or whatever, people like that about him. But do I think Donald Trump will end up in jail? No. Could he be? Potentially. A lot of people think he will go to jail as well, which is interesting. I just think it's funny. Stormy Daniels clearly must have got paid £100,000, £130,000 to be exact. Spent it all, is broke, and now has been trying to figure out a loophole of how to be able to now come out. Because when you do sound an NDA, basically you shouldn't be allowed to speak. But she's found a loophole, and the loophole I believe was, I can't remember the exact terms, but it was something to do with if it's some form of assault being done or some form of sexual assault or something of that possibility, then you are allowed to speak out on what went down. So the deal could be that, according to Stormy Daniel, it can be a lot more than just a little bit of consensual sex. I don't know. To be honest, I don't really care enough. But I think it would just be interesting to see where this takes Donald Trump. Could he be one of the first ex-former presidents to end up in jail? That'd be interesting. I don't know, but it'll be funny to just see a guy that's had that much power just end up behind 2 4 walls on his ones, with with a criminal record. Obviously, Stormy Daniels clearly got a bit broke and decided to come out talking about it when she took the hush money anyways, and spent it all. That's just how I see it. I mean, I feel like in this day and age, whenever people come out 10 years later to talk about something when they took hush money anyways, you're kind of just wondering why, if he was willing to spend the money. I don't know. To be honest, you never know. Cause in those times as well, like, male power speaks a lot. Women didn't really have a voice. There weren't no hashtag Me Too. Social media wasn't in a powerful place it is now. So you also sometimes got to take that into consideration. You have more of a voice now than you did in 2006. So, in other words, as much as I'm saying why is she coming out now, she has more of a voice and more support. And I think we're in a stage now where, like, you kind of do side with women a lot more than you would side with the dude. So yeah, interesting to see what people think about Stormy Daniels. Sorry, that's my watch, by the way, if you're wondering what that alarm is. Interested to see what people think about Stormy Daniels. Will Trump end up in jail? I don't know. Yeah, go on.
It's cover up.
For what?
Epstein's flight list has been released, and the list has come out. Donald Trump's name comes up. All of a sudden, there's some story about some chick. Why do we think he's actually going to jail? Bet you it's to do with him. I'm just one of those conspiracy chicks. But
Okay.
the flight list came out, like, well, not the flight list, but the notebook of list of names came out like a week ago.
Yeah. What is
So
it?
many celebrities are going to start going down.
Wow.
Why has this come out of the works now?
That's a little conspiracy there. I don't know nothing about that.
That's
So.
the only reason I came back in to say that. Okay, bye.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Bye.
Alright, so you heard it here first. Little conspiracy there. So you lot let me know, man. What you lot think about the Donald Trump situation? Will he end up in jail? Is there a little situation where Einstein is coming doing his little thing there? I don't know. Let me know. Another story, Philip Schofield. Yo, listen, first of all, Philip Schofield situation is a funny one. Or should I say a weird one. We have a conversation to do with his brother who apparently, so this is what's going on, right? So apparently his brother is saying, or his brother told Philip, you know, I'm just gonna play the audio, man. Why am I talking so much? I'm gonna play the audio and then we'll do the commentary. Yeah, so let me play it.
A court heard a statement from the TV presenter Philip Schofield today, claiming his brother had admitted to taking part in sex acts with a teenage boy. Timothy Schofield is on trial at Exeter Crown Court, accused of 7 sexual offences involving a child, which he denies. Ellie Pitt joins me now. Philip Schofield didn't appear at...
So yeah, Philip Schofield's brother basically told his broski that apparently, yeah, bro, man's been out here holding it down for the young G's. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's telling the court. Furthermore, snitch. You know what? I think we need to look into Philip Schofield a little bit more than I think we need to look into his brother. If his brother is doing it, put him in jail, cool. But I think I feel like I'm looking at somebody protecting himself. Now, a lot of you may not know, he was married for a very long time, came out as gay on his TV show this morning. I believe it's this morning. He's on a show with his co-host Holly. I'm not really sure of her last name. I think it's Holly Whittingfield or Holly. I just know her as Holly. Huh? Willoughby. Holly Willoughby. Right, that threw me off. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, his co-host is Holly, and there's been a lot of people coming out. I've seen this. I've even heard friends of mine or whatever kind of be like, yo, do you think he's a bit weird? Apparently he might be a nonce. There's people talking about cover up of himself, indulging himself with like younger people or showing interest in, you know, younger people. So either people not of age or, I mean, listen, 16 years old, I believe, is a legal age. If it's 16, you're still saying you're a nonce, right? That man's like 50. Like, let's just talk facts, right? So let's just say young women or young women not of age, right? And I think it's an interesting one. I think it's something that needs to be looked into. I generally don't want to sit here and speculate on another man's name, right? Like, listen, I'm not here to say he's definitely doing something, but it is looking a bit suspect. Like, you gotta look at a dude who's been willing to lie to his family for a very long time. Now, we don't know how long it took him to come out to his family or to his wife in particular that he wasn't feeling the vibes, because she was his cover up to who he really was. And, you know, I'm not here to go down on any man, because I think if you're coming out in this day and age to say, you know, you are interested in same-sex relationships, in his time, that's not something you could really say. It's not like now. He's an older fella, so he's from that era of, bro, you do not, if you're gay, don't come out. You just don't come out, because you're a dude. It's not cool at the time, and you'll be ridiculed for it by everyone. You probably even damn near probably get cancelled by the producers. Now is a little bit more acceptable. You can come out, be gay, people will support you. You know, you got the LGBTQ community, which is probably one of the strongest communities that you could be a part of in terms of really fighting for your rights at the moment. I genuinely believe, I personally believe the LGBTQ community is a lot stronger than the fight for, you know, equality and racism. Personally, I think I say that because their views are more accepted and more understanding than it is for. I feel like as black people, we have to keep going on about, we'll keep repeating the same shit all the time. It's always, we're black, why can't you just be like, we've been saying that since like LGBTQ's been saying it probably not as long as us, but this is how I look at it, right? We've been saying we're black since before slave trade, dude. Since niggas actually moved into the white world. Since then, since we first moved to this white world, we've been saying the same subject. And we're in 2023. We're still saying the same shit we probably said in 1442. Do you get what I'm trying to tell you? Like, we ain't got anywhere. What's the only thing that's really changed with racism now is A, is more accessible in terms of conversation. B, people have kind of said, okay, cool, we need to accommodate you more. But in reality, half of the people that are putting us forward still don't like us. Wasn't Donald Trump the one that called us like I can't remember the exact terms, but he called us like stupid Africans, whatever. Like, people just don't rate us, but they've just had to accept us because we are here. With the LGBTQ, I don't feel like they have to be accepted because they are here. I feel like we are generally, like, listen, we are talking about adding the LGBTQ into the curriculum of kids. We don't say that about niggas. We don't sit there and start talking about, we need to, like, listen, listen, the way that the LGBT is moving, the power of that community, I don't feel like it's the same as the power of the black movement or the Black Lives Matter movement or whatever you want to call it movement. I actually don't really think it's the same. I don't know whether people probably just accept the LGBTQ more than they accept the conversation of racism and black culture. That's probably what it is. I don't know. You tell me, because I'm not sure. But in like the space of like 10 years, the LGBTQ community have gone from taboo to where it's at now. Like, listen, we had the whole World Cup based around essentially the LGBTQ. I have never seen a tournament come together to celebrate one community, bro. There's no tournament, there's no competition that comes out to celebrate us. Now, we can talk about the kneel down after George Floyd, but that was only because of George Floyd. Like, let's not act like they all wanted to kneel down for us 10 years ago. No one gave a fuck 10 years ago. We've had racism conversations for billions of years. No one gave a shit. We had a whole country that was just against the LGBTQ. You had man having armbands. You had BBC not even showing the ceremony. Like, they fully said to this Muslim country, nigga, we don't care, bro. Hey, listen, either say you accept the LGBTQ or we ain't cool. You don't hear businesses saying either you say that you're not racist and we're not cool. It doesn't happen. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to tell you the LGBTQ movement is big, and I actually think it's a good thing. I don't really have an opinion on why the black movement isn't on that same pace level. Maybe the world just doesn't care enough. If that's the case, then we're fighting a losing battle. We probably are. We've been fighting a losing battle for like 1 billion years anyway. So if we're not winning after slave trade, why do we think we're winning now? Do you know what I mean? I keep hearing like we're not gonna win. But anyway, I love the LGBTQ movement. I love the inclusiveness of being able to come out and have that support, because I think us as human beings, it's important that everybody is included, regardless of religion, regardless of sexual preference, regardless of skin color, skin tone. That's how the world should be. We should be able to come together, piece it out, and live as one. Unfortunately, there will be countries that don't accept LGBTQ communities, and if you want to take it back to us saying about racial shit, unfortunately, half of the world just don't give a fuck about black people. It is what it is. And that's just something that I've accepted as a black man. I don't go around looking for people to appreciate me, and rightly so, I don't think so. But going back to Philip Schofield, listen, man, Philip, I'm gonna tell you this, broski, and I'm gonna tell you this even though you're never gonna see this, but hopefully one of your brethren will see this. You feel me? Well, somebody will see this. If you have been seeing a minor and you're putting your brother through all this shit, and you've been through the same shit, done the same shit, hollered at a Stephanie who's still telling you that 2 + 2 is 5 because she ain't smart enough to know yet, because she hasn't grown enough, you cancel like Mason Greenwood, my G. Come out the streets, don't want to hear you, I don't want to see your name. You feel me? Anyway, Philip Schofield, what do you lot think? The brother saying apparently that he slept with minors. What are you saying about that, man? What are you saying about that? Anyway, Steph London purchased land in Jamaica. I don't really have much of an opinion on this. I just think it's good that black people are finally purchasing ownerships. I think someone like Steph London, been in the game for a very long time, earned the money she's earned, should be owning land of her own. And I don't think we should be building it in a European country. I think us as black people need to start building our homes where we come from. I can only speak from experiences. My dad's a dentist. He, does his thing, whatever. He's building a dental school in Uganda. He's got dental practices in Uganda, obviously land, homes, etc. Building a community. I feel like we need to start making money and go back to Africa with that and start growing our communities back home so they can catch up with the rest of the world. We're so behind. We're too busy making money here, especially the ones that are rich, and don't even try to go home. Like, why are you making all this money to then support a European country that you cry about don't even like you for being black? Come on, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Fix that. Go back home with the peas you're making. Buy some land, make some schools, make some hospitals, whatever you need to do. Get Africa up to date. That's what I think we should be doing. So shout out to Steph London for purchasing some land in Jamaica. I don't know if it was big land, small land. I just think it was quite dope to see black people doing some shit in their communities, man. That's what I want to see. Another conversation we want to talk about. There's a guy called Clint. Let me see if I have the story in my DMs. Trying to see which DMs I send it to. So basically, there's a clothing brand by the name Clint. Clint is a guy. No, the guy is called Clint. He's a clothing brand owner. Yeah, I've got it right here. So, clothing brand owner Clint had this to say about UK artists unfollowing a whole load of people on Instagram. So, man like Clint419, yeah? UK artists need to stop doing that thing where they think they're cold and then they unfollow everyone on gram. This ain't America. Man ain't gonna beg it with you. Do you know what I'm hearing? And sorry, Clint, because you sound like a full-on arse licker. Basically, what you just said, I'm not going to arse licking a UK artist because you're not American. So what, you're arse licking Meat Mills? So what, if Meat Mills unfollows you, you're going to be looking for his butthole? Is that what you're saying? Because if Central C unfollows you, he ain't good enough for you. But if it's Meat Mills, Rick Ross, P. Diddy, and Jay-Z, you're all over that ass. Is that what you're saying? Because that's what you just said. You basically just said, let me read this tweet for anyone who ain't hear it properly. UK artists need to stop doing that thing where they think they're cold. If you don't know what cold means, think they're too cool, and then they unfollow everyone on the gram. This ain't America. What are you saying? This ain't America? Bro, if I suddenly make it and I'm following like 5,000 people, best believe I might unfollow like 3,000 of y'all. Nigga, I ain't talking to you anymore. Do I need to? Like, bro, why are you crying that a couple of UK artists unfollowed him? He probably thought he was like in the mix with Amanda, and then the Amanda were like, nah, G, we're not gonna follow you anymore, bro. Let me unfollow that. But what, if Chris Brown unfollows you, it's cool because it's, well, this ain't America. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Listen, I don't know what it is with people's like obsessions with Americans, but stop disrespecting the UK scene like that. I feel like that's a form of disrespect. I feel like man's basically saying, because furthermore, don't compare America to UK. I know I do this thing when I compare like UK sales, American sales, but I always say, listen, the comparisons can be unfair because the States has a bigger platform for anyone to succeed and the UK is fairly small. Like, you can't move around in the UK without seeing 90% of the industry. You can move around in the States because you're probably only going to see 20% of the industry because it's that big. Not everyone is everywhere. Whereas here, everyone is like, there's only like a couple of places you really go and everyone's there. Everyone, literally everyone. So, this Clint guy, listen, I don't really know him. I don't even know what brand he owns. And to be fair, I don't really care. With an attitude like this, I don't give a fuck. Like, if you're a brand owner thinking that America is, you're more lit in America, like this ain't America, like what does that even mean? This ain't America, bro. Name names, bro. Tell us who unfollowed you, who made you upset, bro. Because clearly you're crying over some UK artist that you probably thought was one of your homies, or you probably sent them some free clothes, or you did some shit for them. Because hearing you coming out like this, and then name dropping America like that means some shit, nigga. The picture that's being used as well as you on a goddamn underground train, nigga. Like, bro, you the hottest in the streets. You're on a train. Right? Come on, bro. Anyways, man. Bro. Anyways, Clint. What do you man think? Is Clint talking too much? I get what I get it. Like it's UK industry. Niggas just get too emotional too quickly, and I don't know, man. I don't really fuck with that. But anyways, Pepsi to cut 50% of its sugar, but it promises to still have the same great taste. So anyway, let me read this. So Pepsi has dramatically reduced the sugar content in its drinks by 57% to provide healthy products to customers. This means a 330ml of can of Pepsi will now have 15 grams of sugar instead of the previous 36 grams. However, the team say this new formula still maintains the great taste people expect. The new version of drink will be available in shops this month, but restaurants will continue serving the higher sugar versions. Bro, just make a Pepsi Light or a Pepsi vegan Pepsi or Pepsi Zero, or I don't know, bro, but don't change the original Pepsi. Like, bruv, like, let us have our sugar and then just give another option. I don't understand why they got to change the actual Pepsi. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, Pepsi don't really have much to say more than that, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know why everyone is seeming to wanting to accommodate this healthier lifestyle. Listen, I know I used to be Biggie Firahs. I'm now just Firahs at this point. I ain't really as big as I was, but don't get rid of the fat shit. Keep it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's cool that everybody wants to accommodate the vegans and the healthy people and the gym goers, and you know, the life today is really going in down this kind of healthy route. Like, being healthy is now like the new popularity in today's day and age. But I don't think they have to change like everything. Anyways, it'll be interesting to see what listen, I'm done. I'm gonna taste that as soon as it comes out. We'll taste it, we'll review it and see where it goes. Pepsi cutting the sugar by 57%. What do you man think? Now, a conversation I want to get into right now to do with Perry Edwards. Perry Edwards discussed. So I have it actually here on my laptop. I don't really know how much of it I'm planning on reading, but Perry Edwards basically discussed her battle with self-confidence and how she wanted to get an acid pill to get rid of her freckles. Um, I think in the world of social media, well, first of all, for people who don't know who Perry Edwards is a girl that was part of a band that came out of X Factor called Little Mix. I believe they came out third or some shit. I don't know. No, they won actually. They won with Talisa. Remember Talisa, the chick that did that head thing where she got caught going viral for giving the ultimate 2000. Oh yeah, pause. Straight. Shout out to the girl for holding it down for the culture. Yeah, I had to pause that one. For giving the Glock 2000 on camera. Man, like to Lisa. Yeah, anyway, Little Mix won that. Perry Edwards come from that. Obviously, we've had a lot of conversation in regards to mental health on this podcast. Most notably in the last couple of episodes, actually. It seems to be hot topic in today's world of entertainment. And I think, again, the conversation always dates back to social media. I was actually shown a filter that absolutely made you look like a 10, even if you was a 1. It's crazy. I don't really know and understand fully as a woman how it feels. As a man, I don't feel like we have that much of a pressure to be sexy. But you do see the interaction difference between a male that you would think probably looks better than you, right? It's just a fact. We're all on social media. We can all admit it. We've all scrolled through the gram, probably seen maybe even one of our brethren that you think, damn. And then you probably go through his comment section. We've all done it. I've done it. Like, I'll see a couple on the mandem, and to be fair, a lot of our friends just seem to be fairly model looking. I think anyway. Maybe I'm just capping, but they just get chicks. Even sometimes I sit there and go, damn, I don't even get none of that. My comment section is boring. I go through my man, married, 4 kids, comment section, hella chicks. I go through my comment section, right, listen, this is my friends. It's cool though, but it's just funny, like, social media can have you feeling like you ain't shit because you're too busy thinking, why don't I get that interaction or whatever through social media. It's just the way it is. It's what social media does to you. So confidence plays a huge role, and sometimes you want social media to validate that you either are hot. You want it to tell you that. It's just a fact. That's why you got anxiety. People get depressed. People are too busy looking at Instagram, wondering or trying to figure out why they aren't either feeling as attractive as the next person that you think does really well. I think we're at an interesting stage in life where selling a narrative almost is better than being honest with your real life. You got things like a lot of people at Instagram think Instagram is real. I'll tell you myself, my Instagram ain't real, bro. Like, I might go to an event, probably had the shittest day, probably not even got one interview, probably didn't even get any of the big things I wanted to get. I could tell a story about a festival where I made everything look lit. I didn't get anything I wanted. All the interviews got cancelled. All the big artists said no. I might have got a couple of pictures, but it looked like I was lit. Bro, listen, I'm not going to sit there and start crying on Instagram about why this didn't work out. But it happens. Social media ain't real. And I think it's sad that people go through like things where people make them feel like they have to make a change to fit in or to be accepted within the social media world, the entertainment world, whatever business you're in, where there's a lot of eyes on you and a lot of people have opinions on, your appearance. It's an interesting conversation because I obviously looking at this Perry Edwards thing. She used to get bullied back in the day, and they were criticized her for having a lot of freckles, and obviously that made her want to have an acid pill to get rid of her freckles. it's a sad thing, and this also comes back to when, because there's always been a conversation in regards to different sizes. You have the BBW, thick, skinny, average, whatever, and I always hear these conversations about what's more popular than what not. A lot of men would rather not be honest about liking bigger women, but would happily be honest about liking slimmer women. Or you would have men that would rather not be honest about their particular type because they think it's not good enough for the other man them, or they might like a girl that's not historically buff to other people, so they would rather just there's a lot of things. And women do the same thing, right? Like, you'll get women out there who would settle for a guy that's not really their type, but they've been hurt so much that they stoop down, but they don't want you to know. Or women would settle for what they think they can get, because the man financially ain't good enough, but then they'll find, everyone has their thing that they want to hide or be honest about, or not want to be honest about and hide. Like, it is what it is. And we're in a sad world where, unfortunately, social media has built this thing where people only look at perfection and they only think of perfection. And the fact that everything has a perfection within everybody's individual eyes, you are then chasing that perfection, and you only want to post that perfection, whether that's having a perfect family, perfect skin, perfect swag. All of this perfection has put people almost at a weird obsession with something that's not real. Nothing is perfect. There's no such thing as the perfect family, the perfect relationship, the perfect girl, the perfect husband. You can only fall in love with what you get given in front of you if you're talking love right now. If you're in love with someone, love is more than the appearance. If they have a car crash and they don't come back looking how they look when you first met them, are you leaving them because now they're no longer your quote unquote hot anymore? That's not love. Like, you can't fall in love with an appearance, a materialistic thing. Those things aren't real. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you should fall in love with the person, or how she treats you, how she is towards you. Is she loyal? Does she take care of you? Or, is she willing to build with you? Does she motivate you? Does she help you get to the next step of your career? It shouldn't be, oh, my chick has a big ass and titties and a great face. I mean, everybody has a preference in body. That's a benefit. But don't make it the be or end all. Because then, like, when that goes missing, or if she's skinny and then turns big, what are you going to do? If she's big and goes skinny, what are you going to do? I hate her for it. A woman should be allowed to be who a woman should be without the pressure of her partner, like, having to please. She shouldn't be getting to a shape to please another human being. A man shouldn't get to a place in his appearance to please a woman. Like, it works both ways. You shouldn't be pleasing another person. You shouldn't change yourself to please another person. The person should be happy with who you are, regardless of what you're carrying as an appearance. That's just what it is. They should fall in love with you, not with what you got to show for social media. And that also takes me back to privacy within relationships as well. I always feel like I have a conversation about this where I feel like some of y'all share too much on social media, man. You don't want to have the backlash from the people, but you are willing to let them, like, bash you. So if it's not good, you're not happy. If it's good, you're cool. And I think that's another conversation as well, because I'm kind of tired of I hear this more from women. I'm sure men do it too. But I hear a lot of women coming out saying, like, why you saying I look like this, I do that. But you post it. If you're not a private account and you're posting it on a public forum, you are giving the audience, the people, the opportunity to give their opinion on whatever it is they're looking at. And that's just the unfortunate truth. But anyways, man, listen, man, Perry Edwards, wanting to do an acid pill to get rid of freckles is a sad sight. Self-confidence is real, anxiety is real, depression is real, and I hope we Yeah, we don't let our peoples go through that, man. You know what I'm saying? And last story for today, Cardi B and Offset to appear in a new Baby Shark movie, also with a new song and dance after featuring on the show before. So they were on Baby Shark before. I didn't know this. That's crazy. Culture will also feature, and the baby that was just born, Wave, will also be featured as Wavy Shark. That's a joke. Wavy Shark, 18 months years old. I don't know what they're gonna be recording from that baby's voice at 18 months. I can't wait to see. I think that'd be jokes. Cardi B and Offset, are they like the new power couple within hip hop? Obviously we've got Jay-Z, Beyonce, most notably. But in like this new era, Cardi B and Offset seeming to be, obviously Cardi B, one of the biggest females, if not the biggest, after Nicki Minaj, female rapper right now. Offset, you know, coming off the back of one of the biggest boy bands in the Migos. Obviously he's been doing his solo thing for a little minute. Could he be, you know, one of the biggest rappers as well now? Cardi B, Offset. What do you guys think about that? I think it's dope, man. I think it's actually dope that we got some new type of culture in like this kind of like baby infant content world. I think it's good to have some different type of, I would say, personalities within even the kids world. I think, yeah, okay, Cardi B, Offset is from the hood, most notably from black hood cultures. But let's be honest, a lot of our kids don't grow up in a very white world. Some of them are in the hood, and it'll be good for them to understand, listen, this is how my parents speak. And to have somebody like a Cardi B and Offset accommodating that, I think it'll be dope. Shout out. See you later. You think you hear the door slam? Someone's just leaving right now. But yeah, I think it's dope to have Cardi B and Offset in this kind of like new world where they can showcase the kids that, hey, listen, the way that you sound in your neighborhood is normal. It's not a taboo thing. And I think having people like Offset, Cardi B being able to do that on a huge platform like Baby Shark, which is for the kids, it's a good thing. I think it's good to have different. I think the song is gonna be beautiful. Have a little dance around in that. I think that'd be dope. Shout out to Cardi B and Offset. What do you guys think about Cardi B, Offset, and their kids, Culture and Wave, being on Baby Shark's new movie? Let me know down below. Anyway, this has been your boy Firahs. This is the Firahs podcast where I talk and share, have a little bit of fun, and then have a little bit of a good conversation. Hope you guys enjoying the vibe so far, and we are out.